Hi, everybody, and thank you for coming back to Living To Do's review of Married at First Sight Reunion Part 2. Before I get started with the review, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. So let's get into this review. It's Part 2 of the review. Kevin is talking to the girls as a group in the first scene. And in the first scene, we learn that Alyssa blocked Lindsay on her social media accounts, and Jasmina unfollowed Lindsay. Now, Lindsay was saying that Alyssa was sending private messages to Mark on Instagram, and she says, we're here for marriage and you're not, so stay home. And then the girls all defended Alyssa. They said she was sending messages to everybody, all the guys, just talking about just really little nothing things. It was not, it was just friendly conversation, chit chat. It was interesting how everyone was standing up for Alyssa. I thought that Noi, she didn't really seem to have much backbone. Even when Alyssa was doing stuff or saying stuff to her about her, she didn't really stand up to Alyssa. She hasn't, her backbone hasn't fully formed yet. And Jasmina told the story that her and Lindsay got into it in a car, I guess, onto the airport after taping, I think Decision Day or something they were taping. And Lindsay started talking about Alyssa. And Jasmina doesn't like it when you talk about people and they're not there. And so she asked her to stop talking about her. And Lindsay, of course, takes everything the wrong way, bent out of shape, and those two strong heads battling each other. Lindsay told her if she didn't like something or whatever, to get out of the car. She could walk to the airport, well, get out of her car. So Lindsay does do the extreme when talking to people, and she's has confrontations with people, and she has too many confrontations with people. They talked about the tattoo that Alyssa's psychic told her she would that her person would have, the tattoo of the lion on their body. And it was Lindsay who tried to start something about Noi not liking it or something to that effect. It was really none of Lindsay's business, and she's texting people, starting stuff, and having conversations with a couple of people, and not others, saying that Noi was that was upsetting Noi, that her husband had a tattoo that a psychic said that Alyssa's person would have. And Noi said she didn't really like the fact that 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 happened, but the way they said it is that she didn't make a big deal out of it. It was Lindsay, and that's interesting. Lindsay is putting her hands in too many pots, and she has no business doing it. Stirring up stuff, just her crazy energy. Side note: Jasmina and Katina looked really good. They were showing legs and hips and body. They look great. I swear they look like they just came off a runway. They're so beautiful. And that was pretty much it for the girl group, in conversation with Kevin Frazier. Then Kevin Frazier spoke to the guys as a group. And Mark told the group, or told Kevin, that something about Lindsay, that she was spitting. She was spitting on his shirt. And that's just disgusting to me. One thing I cannot tolerate is someone spitting on another person. Accidentally is bad enough, but intentionally, that is so disgusting to me. I hate when guys in sports, like in baseball, whatever, when they're spitting. That's just the most disgusting thing. And you did that to somebody? Where's your head? Mark became frightened of Lindsay. A lot of things happened in her mouth and all her threats. He felt threatened. He felt bullied. He'd never been bullied like this by anybody before. I believe everything Mark is saying. Nobody here has anything nice to say about Lindsay, except maybe Elijah, which that's kind of weird in itself, but since they're so much alike, but nobody can say really anything all that nice about Lindsay. Now, Elijah did say that in his marriage that his wife, Katina, is now cooking gourmet meals. And Michael chimed in and said that often Elijah will let him know that his wife is cooking and send photos of what she's made. Well, she's come a long way. Good thing you stuck with her, Elijah. Next, that was pretty much it. There was not a lot going on. Next, the Kevin spoke to the experts alone, just the three of them, Dr. Viviana, Dr. Pepper, and Pastor Cal. And they were all surprised at decision day that all the couples that, other than Alyssa and Chris, all said yes on decision day. Yeah, that was surprising. Because that's really never happened before. I don't know if they were paid to do that. I heard a lot of talk that they got bonuses if they stayed together till decision day. I don't know how true that is. The fact that they're on the screen talking whether yes or no, that should be good enough. So if you make it to the couch, you should get paid. Next, we had Kevin talking to Jasmina and Michael, and it looks like he talked just to the couples who did not make it. So he first talked to Jasmina and Michael, and their big fight, it seemed insignificant and rather silly. They were fighting over a laptop that she needed of Michael's possibly, and I guess he didn't bring it when she needed it, and it sounded like just miscommunication. And they got in a big fight over this, and that's it. It kind of stemmed to their divorce, which kind of seems so silly and petty. I just don't. I think if that is a reason for divorce, then you're not ready to be married. And I'm thinking that's more or less on Jasmina's side. I don't think she has the right attitude to this day uh, to be with somebody. I see she needs so much work on herself. Um, and Michael was just not getting enough from Jasmina, from what he says. Each other thought they were putting in effort in the marriage, but Jasmina thinks she's the only one who did. Um, Actually, it was I think the experts were also sitting with them, and Dr. Pepper said that they can't see that each other cared for one another. They just couldn't see that. They were angry at one another, and because what Dr. Pepper could see is that in the way he was expressing himself, he was caring for her, showing up for her. So he thought, and her sending the text and whatnot was her way of showing that she cared, and they just missed each other. In my honest opinion, it's Jasmina. She's the one holding up the brick wall. She has that thick brick wall um, around her, as she must think she needs for protection. And I don't doubt that, She needs to feel safe and secure for whatever happened in her past. She needs to protect herself at all times. And I think signs that she seeing from Michael, she's interpreting them incorrectly, and gets to be real defensive. And at some point, I think Michael needs to, he felt he needed to stay away because, first of all, she did call him aggressive, and that's not something that could trigger him. And in this climate, in this world that we live in, and to say that about him on national TV was not cool. And I don't know if it was exactly accurate. And I think he was protecting himself by staying away from her, not causing any friction between them. And they just got a late start. I blame all of that on Jasmina. She doesn't look like someone you can approach. And he did say in the last episode he didn't romance her because she didn't seem like she wanted to be romanced. And he has to be careful because of what she might interpret his actions to be, even his tone. I'm just not sure that he did all the things that she said he did. I think she just interpreted them wrong. And her wall, she's so defensive that she might just, she's just not might be seeing clearly, I think. It's a shame. I think she's going to regret it, but whatever. All the experts seem to have hope for them. They see it too. I think they see this is something that they could have really truly given a chance, and they really might have had something special. And unfortunately, they just did not. And maybe Michael could be just tired. He can get he can get more of a better response from somebody else. So the experts talked to Alyssa and Chris. Woo, did you see the look on the expert's face when Alyssa walked in? It looked grim. They didn't. Everybody else they seemed to greet with a smile, and they could feel their energy was welcoming and warm before they walked in, but not with Alyssa. Dr. Viviana and Alyssa said that she was mad they didn't give her what she wanted. Nothing that she asked for was what she received. Dr. Viviana was prepared. She had the questionnaire question that she had, and she said, "You got exactly what you asked for." And she broke down a list of things that she asked for, and Chris was all of them. And one thing she said Chris wasn't, she talked about loyalty, no loyalty. You you spent maybe 45 minutes with this man. How was he not loyal? Um, and just because they were talking to her and asking her a question, they never got loud. Um, she felt attacked and started crying to weasel her way out of the questioning and the conversation. And Dr. Viviana said they were not attacking her. They were just trying to set what she said. They wanted to set everything straight. What she said about the experts was an error, and she was trying to show her the error. You said this, you got this. So where did we make a misstep? And instead of, she had no rebuttal but tears. That's what she does. And nobody had any sympathy for her because, quite frankly, she doesn't deserve any. I love Dr. Viviana in that instance. Um, she was right. She was right. And she talked about her core values, Alyssa did, saying they didn't match with Chris's core values. I don't know how you know because you only spent 45 minutes with the man. So they asked her, "What are your core values?" And she wouldn't answer. And Dr. Pepper said, "You have a narrow template of what you really wanted." Uh, and she did. Nobody knows what she really wants. I don't know what she wants. And she just wanted to clear the air, Alyssa, that she is a good person. She said once again, I am a good person. It's just so weird that normally people don't have to say that at all. And the fact that you have said it numerous times to try to make us believe your lies. Um, she just cried. She's immature. She is not ready for this process. Nobody wants to see her. Um, I really don't wish her to be matched up with anybody unless they're just as awful as she is. So the next couple is that the experts talked to was Mark and Lindsay. And they talked about the big blow up. It happened about 7 days after decision day. And it was regarding Lindsay's birthday. She was doing all the stuff for Mark, and she wanted a dinner and massage for her birthday. Her birthday came and went, and there was no birthday. And I think that is she was really hurt by that. Um, and she just lashed out at Mark, and it became a big deal, their fight. And Dr. Pepper said it. She said it perfectly. Lindsay, you lash out and you hit bone, because she hurts so deeply. It shows in her response to others. She is hurt. She can't express it. It's funny how she talks so much, but something is going on deep in this girl's core, and she acts out because of it so badly. And they were asking her to be honest about Mark, and she says she was going to be honest, she said. And right away, Dr. Viviana said, don't be very honest if it doesn't have tact. So if you want to say something to somebody or get something off your chest, there's a way of going about it. You can get your point across, your feelings across, without attacking the person. And Pastor Cal was saying that the way they treat each other is they lost value and respect for one another, and that's so true. I don't know how much respect Mark lost. He seemed to still have some respect. He was still respectful towards her. And Mark says, he is in his next relationship, he is going to set the tone out the gate early, set up boundaries to protect himself and to let people know that you're crossing a line, and then, things start to hurt people. And I like Mark. I think he's doing well. I think he's just matched with the demon, and my goodness, he did the best he could. Okay, so the last couple of scenes was a group scene. It was all the couples together talking just to Kevin. And when they got together, the first thing Kevin brings up is Olajuwon and Lindsay's fight. And they showed the clip where they're on the shuttle bus. I think, did they go to Puerto Rico? Where did they go? I can't even remember where they went. Oh, it was Puerto Rico, because Lindsay wanted them to speak Spanish when they got there. She was like an order from her. And Olajuwon told the group, she doesn't tell us what to say. We're adults. We don't need her doing it, telling us what to do. This was like the first day they met her. She just had a reputation, or she has shown herself to be just very bossy, unnecessary, brass. And so when they came back to the scene where the live group was, where, after they played the clip, they asked, do you remember that? And Olajuwon said, hola. he guess he didn't understand the answer would have been C, or it should have been C. I think it was Lindsay that corrected him. Lindsay. So they asked the group what they thought about Lindsay and Mark. Lo, chimed in. Olajuwon chimed in, and he said that he gave them a lot of therapy. Like he's qualified to give anybody therapy. Because, first of all, he's come a long way, and I guess he could be a good friend, but therapy? They showed a clip of Olajuwon not even knowing his wife's name. This is on their honeymoon. They're out in Puerto Rico. You see the beautiful beach behind them. So you've spent some time with this woman. In fact, you laid in a bed with her. And he didn't know her name. He called her Jeanette, Gannett, all this stuff. He didn't know her name. Oh, how embarrassing. And I remembered that he didn't know her name at the wedding. He called her Katrina, and Katina's mother was quick to correct them. I want to know, now that they're still together, how does Katina's mother feel about Olajuwon now? Does she run away from him? Remember, she said there's a rabbit, and as he looked for the rabbit, she went the other direction. Loved it. They showed the bowling scene of Lindsay and Mark in the bowling alley, and her going to the bathroom, just ripping into him so negatively. And they showed her face watching the playback of this, and she was laughing at the playback. It was just tacky of her. Kevin said that she should apologize to Mark. She took forever to apologize. I mean, forever. It looked like she didn't want to do it. Olajuwon says something like, Lindsay, take accountability. And she just didn't want to apologize. She said, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. She didn't manage to say that. And then they asked Mark, do you need another apology for something else? And Mark was like, no, that's okay, no. And nobody knew what it was at first. And then Kevin said that you spit on his shirt, you spit on him, and he needs an apology for that. And because you've gone too far. And that's when Olajuwon said, take accountability. If you did do this, and you're right here in front of all these people, but this is the time to apologize if you did do that. Because I'm sure when it happened, Mark told Olajuwon. So I'm sure he was privy of this information before the sit down. So he must have known. And the way she was acting, in fact, she lied and said she didn't spit. But they said you spit on his shirt. And she finally turned and apologized. She I don't think she said she recalled the spitting incident, or she didn't make mention of that, but she did apologize for things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lindsay, you spit on that man. You know you did. I know you did. First of all, I think you're a liar. You've lied about so much all this time. And then to spit on him? You think he's going to lie about that? You lied about it. We learned that about Steve in the group, that he still has his LED lights, and he even has it in his car. Oh, Steve, what is your fascination with LED lights? You are too old for that. Also, Kevin brought up the stains that were on Olajuwon's underwear on his honeymoon. I guess Twitter was asking. He was reading a lot of Twitter questions. And Olajuwon had an answer to that. He said he had a pin in his pocket and it broke off or something, and it stained his underwear. And I just thought that it looked more like a brown stain than a blue or a black stain. But okay, I guess he solved the I guess the Doogie stain mystery has been solved. It was a pen. That's something I would never say. Uh, but that was pretty much it. Kevin told us that I thought it was all over, but next week is going to be Where Are They Now? A special. And I hope it's just an hour. That does not need to be 2 hours. And it shows that Chris is now dating. Surprise, surprise. He's dating someone we know, and he's dating Olivia from season 11. She was married to Brett. He was boring. And he's dating Olivia. We see her face there. So Olivia makes a comeback. I think that's a great match. I can see them together. They seem to have the same type of temperament. I think they would try to work with one another. And they've been, he's said this before, so maybe he's been dating her a while. I hope that really works out, and I can't wait to see what they've been up to and how close they're getting. And it also showed Ryan. Remember Ryan from Texas, who was married to Brett? And isn't that weird? Olivia was married to a Brett, and she's now going to be dating Chris. And Ryan was dating a female named, or I hate saying the word female, but a woman named Brett. And it shows that he is going to, he's hugging Alyssa, like he's greeting her. They're hugging each other. So I don't know if they matched Ryan with Alyssa, because honestly, Ryan is too good for Alyssa. So I hope it's just a meetup and he goes on his separate ways, because he doesn't need that headache. I hope that doesn't happen. But I am very interested to see what happened, what's the goings on with everybody on Where Are They Now. I will be reviewing it, but that is it for now. So we'll see next week, but that's it. Please like, share, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. I thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.